Okay, here's another question. Welcome to DBYT Podcast. I am Taisha, and today we have Clarence here with us. We are going to hit on the topic of maintaining personal balance with a sprinkle of partnership, just a sprinkle, just to close out on that last one. If y'all was here for the last episode, then you already know what we talking about. If you don't, it's gonna be in the corner. Go ahead and check that out before you check out this one. How can imbalance manifest in partnership, and what are the signs that it might be happening?
The way that would show up in a relationship, I gotta be so careful with this one. Cause I don't want it to come from such a personal place that it's
If
like,
you need an
you
assist,
know,
I'm here.
I might. Hold on, let me.
Okay.
So for me, imbalance shows up in ways of me, as you did speak on before, not being heard. And I did mention that as far as communication, I feel as if communication is ain't no feel. I think and I know communication is so vital in any relationship because if you cannot communicate,
What we gonna talk about? I mean,
how are we actually like I communicate. For instance, I communicate with my dog. In the mornings, I may wake up. I literally pray with my dog.
yeah.
I communicate the love that I have for my dog to her in a way that I know how. Now I might see that she might be jumping on me a little more, so I might, might throw the toy with you because that's the way you love. So I need to meet you there. So to make it very plain and simple, a balance is literally that teeter totter between me meeting my dog where she at and what I know she likes versus what I want to do. And sometimes that balance also comes from literally I don't always want to go play with my dog.
Right.
But I will because I know that that's going to bring her some balance. So that's, to me, that's balance. And I just use a metaphor to explain it.
I like that you brought it. It's still personal, but he's sparing y'all. Let's just
Very much so.
he's sparing y'all, and I respect it. I would piggyback and say imbalance would be having too much of something in one area.
Mm.
It's too concentrated. You need
Yeah.
to dilute it and make it even out. Just like like when you gotta make gravy or something, you gotta add that extra can of water or whatever you
Mm.
gotta do. I don't cook, so that could be very inaccurate. I don't.
You, so, what gravy you do.
So you need to make sure it's
It's
not
a
as
ratio.
you know what I'm saying,
Liquid
like.
and flour.
Right. So you need to make sure it's perfect so you can get that good gravy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like in partnerships in the past, or it could be people that I talk to because y'all already know how I am with relationships. But sometimes people might be overly affectionate towards me, and I don't receive it well all the time because I'm not always in that lovey-dovey mode.
Right.
But when I am, I'm ready. But when I'm not, like, I feel like people get upset, or
Mm-hmm.
they might overly, like, men are rarely emotional, and I don't think a lot of people understand that.
I love to vouch for us when it comes to that because, like you said, a lot of people don't think that. But yes, we think with logic. But trust and believe the logic is kind of like deep rooted in emotion
Yeah.
because think about it. Literally, me sitting here thinking about it. If you think about how you feel, then you can come up with an actual plan on how you want to move.
Yeah.
A lot of men you see them move, and it's kind of like, why they doing that? Trust me, we done sat down and thought about why we need to move like that, how we need to move like that, regardless if it's feeding the ego, because I do want to talk about
Okay. Yes.
regardless if it's just feeding the ego or it's literally like, dang, this kind of make me feel this way, so I don't want to feel that way anymore. Like, I'm not saying that it's all healthy,
Yeah.
but we are thinking
And
emotionally
it's
sometimes.
cool until I say, "Oh well, I'm tired." Now you think I'm messing with another man.
Like, y'all, that's not what that means.
Relax. Like, there's been times where I won't even argue. I just be like, all right, whatever you want to think, because then now you're disturbing my peace. And I work hard not to argue with men
Yeah.
because I know how I used to get. I used to would not stop. all. Like, I'm gonna have the last word. That's what I was. I'm not like that no more. And at some point, I just be like, all right, you
You
got it.
you gotta throw your hands up in the air sometimes, only because, like you said earlier, and on the other episode,
Hmm.
you have to know your worth and you know your perception. You know who you are.
Oh,
So at a certain point, it's like, why? Why? What is the point? Like, what is the point of me trying to prove whatever you want me to prove, or whatever that I feel like I need to prove to you? Because at the end of the day, why you proving anything when it's right there flat on the table? You know?
I hate that you said that, but now I gotta speak on it because we don't bite our tongues around here, and I always promise that I won't, and that's my fault. But do you know your worth, bro? I'm not gonna sit up here and lie or pretend like I am just 100% just yeah. I stand my bro. It's sometimes specific people make you feel like it's worth giving up some of your morals, and I hate to say it like that, but I've been through it, and it's like you keep trying to negotiate and you keep trying to see the best in people or however that comes out, and it's like that's how you lose yourself. And the question was proposed to me the other day, like Taisha, like I'm not trying to be funny, but like, do you know your self worth? And I was like, oh,
The waterworks.
wait, what? Then I had another person come up to me and was like, you know, you're a great woman, right? And I started crying. I, I was like, please stop, because you don't know what you're doing right now. And they kept going, and I'm like, please, like I'm
Yeah,
getting emotional now, but it's
that's
like
okay.
when people recognize that, and because you don't hear that a lot. Like a lot of times you hear about all your mistakes and everything, and
Yeah.
nobody want to tell you like you doing a good job. And to hear that from those people, like that means that you're paying attention to what I'm telling you. Cause like some of the stuff I say, and then I be like, why do I allow that? You know what I'm saying?
Trust me. Trust me.
And it's just like, at what point are you going to stop doing that? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that other person isn't trying to help you build yourself. Because if they was, maybe you would have heard it from them.
Yeah. Or you would be built up by now. I mean,
Yeah.
hey. I just want to add one last thing
Yeah,
to
of course.
that because as far as knowing your worth and as far as those compliments, like you said, we kind of did that today for class.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Oh yes, tell me
I
about your class.
I don't see I'm making up hours right now
Okay.
for on Mondays. These people don't know me. They don't know me from a can of paint. I barely talk in there. We've had little sessions because my teacher, she's like a Reiki master, all type of stuff. Like I said, she's sex ed, everything.
What's a Reiki master?
Energy work.
Okay.
So Reiki is just energy work. You
Okay.
just dealing with like the chakras and balancing out unbalanced energy.
Okay.
So from what I would assume they know of me is very vague,
Okay.
very nothingness. But most people, you know, they like, hey, you're cool, you're calm, you serene. This one girl, she looked me dead in my eyes and said, I get serene energy from you. Now I gotta go look at what serene exactly would mean for me through definition. But even my teacher was like, you know, you kind of like still water. It's
I'm about
deep.
to say calm, right?
Yeah, she was like, it's deep, but it's still water. You still don't
Right.
know what's up under there. And even with her seeing that in me, oh, it was somebody in the back of the class. They was like, he's dedicated. Now that one, that kind of hit me a little bit because I'm like, well, dang, I am. Don't nobody see it sometimes, and I know they think that it's not dedication, or they might think it's just simple motivation, but it's literally dedication to not fail on me,
Yeah.
and not only just for me, but for the people who looking. I didn't know they was paying attention to that,
Right.
but because they are, a lot of people have been kind of acknowledging the dedication, and that's what I kind of value more now than just simple recognition. Because if you can say, hey, you're doing a great job. I've been doing a great job since I was 15 years old, since I started
You feel
working.
me?
That's what everybody said. But are y'all seeing the work? Are y'all seeing what I'm really putting in? And that is what I value.
The specifics of it,
You
the
know.
detail of it, because
Yeah.
that
Don't
matters.
clap for me. Actually give me the rose and tell me why you gave them to me.
And I'm glad you said that.
Like
I don't like the social media uproar of, oh, give them their flowers while they're here. Everybody don't deserve flowers right now. They still working with weeds and grass blades. Like,
Some people ain't did nothing
they
to get
haven't did
nothing.
nothing. There are people who have literally made impacts on people's lives, like, entirely. And don't get me wrong, newcomers, and it really is in music and like artistry of like acting and things of
Yeah.
that nature. But it's like, wait your turn.
You
It's
know?
not gonna hit the same. It's just like when people used to maybe sneak in clubs when they was kids, and now that they're of age, I already did that.
Yeah.
It's not exciting. I don't want to do that because you went before your time. You don't need all. Everything ain't meant for everybody at the same time,
Yeah.
and that's where you got to learn your place. Like, I'm just glad you said that, but I'm not gonna
Yeah,
divert.
yeah, yeah.
That was just a little. You hear
Yeah.
me? Why is it crucial to maintain a sense of individual balance even when in a committed relationship?
I preach this message all the time. So, oh, me personally, and I do speak from personal experience. If you, once again, like we just literally said, it's so simple. Ain't even got to be drawn out. If you don't know yourself, how you gonna give it to somebody else? Or if you don't know yourself, how you even know you deserve flowers? Cause you telling somebody you deserve flowers when, like you said, you see that they need scrub. They working with scrubs and weeds. I mean, and to expound on
You ain't
that,
even got poked yet.
you know what I'm saying? And to just simply expound on that, it's like you have to have a sense of self
Mm-hmm.
because, like I just said, I learned from the collective. I learned from my friends telling me things. I learned from my teacher telling me things. And just small things here and there help me really understand life. So, who are you to say that, oh, I can come in a relationship and I can be me freely, whoever that is,
Mm-hmm.
and not really acknowledge that individual on the other end, friendship, relationship, whatever have you, and really acknowledge them for the person that they are. But if they don't know who they are,
It's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be an issue, and I feel like even after being single this long, and people is like, "Why are you still single? Like, you so this and you so that," and it's like, "Cause I know I'm not ready."
yeah,
And if I go into this knowing that I'm not ready, I am going to hurt more people that way because you're going to get even more. Because I don't like to say it like this, but baby, I be having you wrapped around my finger.
yeah,
And I know that a lot of times I can detach
yeah,
and not feel anything.
same,
So with knowing that about myself, and if I choose to engage and get into a committed relationship with you, and then I'd be like, well, now I gotta change because now I gotta see about your feelings and see about, oh, you
right,
can't always isolate because what if they don't accept you isolating. First of all, first and foremost, I need somebody who's going to accept me for where I'm at and not my potential to be because I'm not there yet.
please, please, I'm gonna say it again for her because you don't have to go
It's
based off
frustrating.
like based off the episode of Cam and Dr. Bryant.
Yes.
It was said like his mother said, which I did. I love that saying, and I might keep that dear to my heart. That
Yeah. Go ahead,
he
talk about
said
that.
he said that his mother said, you you cannot go to heaven with somebody if you're not willing to go to hell with them.
Hmm.
Now, granted, if you feel like you don't want to go to hell, don't go to
Don't
hell.
go. Don't
But
go.
why put yourself through hell when you know you want to be in heaven? But at the end of the day, guess what? You still gotta go through hell with somebody or
Somebody.
something. So don't think you're gonna just jump over that step because the grass seems like it's greener on the other side. Because I promise you, it might be greener on the other side in their front yard, but you ain't never seen their backyard. Or you might have seen their front and their backyard, but you never seen their
Mm-mm.
house. They be throwing trash in their backyard. I don't. I'm just saying.
You know what's crazy? That statement reminded me of the Joker and Harley Quinn when
Mm.
he was like, "Are you willing to die for me?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Nah, that's too easy. Would you live for me?" And when he said that, I was like, "Oh, whose pen is this?"
Like,
Cause no, like, would you? Are you willing? Cause dying, you do that when you're one and done.
Right.
Are you willing to show up for me every day, support me, be there for you and me? Because at this point, if we're in a relationship, you have to know how to be there for you, be there for me, and I
Yeah.
also have to reciprocate that as well. But are we willing to live for each other and show up every day and continue us, no matter if it's good or bad? Do you believe that commitment is a feeling or action? I'm because you hear people. I'm feeling committed today,
Hmm.
but I just want to
Both.
know what you
I'm
know.
I'm gonna say both.
Okay.
I feel committed to my responsibilities. I feel committed to. I'm thinking of the things that I sometimes don't feel committed to.
But is
My
that true commitment?
job. No. Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
No, it's not. But with the action of me waking up saying, "Hey, today I don't want to do this,"
Mhm.
which is you saying, "Hey, today I don't want to be committed to this." I'm gonna use a simple example of going to work.
Okay.
I work with children. Love children so much. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. But some days I wake up and because of me, I just be like, if I had the option, I wouldn't go. But that's all of us, right?
Mhm.
But the commitment comes in with the action. So I'm gonna say it's the action, just point blank, period.
Okay.
But I feel like it starts with the thought of, hey, I want to be committed to this
Mhm.
because at any given moment, I could always go find me another job. I
Yeah,
could
but do you
always
go? Do you
no.
show up? I'm saying like, do you show up for them kids
Oh, I'm
when
a
you
show.
don't want to?
Even when I don't want to, I'm still showing up for them because I know at the end of the day, I don't
Mhm.
know what they're going home to.
Right.
I don't know what they dealt with when they are there. I don't know how me and my attitude will even affect them, even in the long
Because
run.
they feel that, and you never know
So,
what people are clinging on to.
and why they're clinging on to it. And that even go into real life, walking day. I commit to my friends. I commit to certain relationships. I commit
Mhm.
to a lot of things. Maybe I might not be on time, but I'm gonna show up. Like
We know.
I'm gonna show up, okay?
Why
I'm
y'all
gonna
think we in
show
the dark
up.
right now?
But I'm gonna show up though.
He gonna show up.
Like and to my best ability, it might not be 100% on what they might see, but I promise you, it's 100. It's my 100%
Yes.
because I care. And that also goes into committing because you need to care about what you're committing to. If you don't care, you're not gonna commit. I care about everything I commit to because I don't feel like what is you committing to nothing for.
Right.
That's
Cause
stupid.
we
So
funny.
what do you feel? Because I actually wanna ask you that too.
I definitely feel like it's an action because I feel like it's a choice, and
Mm,
choices are actions. So
yeah,
my commitment to stay true to myself. You could really some
I like
days,
that.
you know what I'm saying? It's like even though cuz once you know something, you can't unknow it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when you know better, you do better. And I hate that I said that so early. But
same.
when you know, you can't act in the same ways that you used to. So even if like let's say you
Mm,
feeling fleshly,
mm,
but you know how that make you feel, like aftermath,
yeah.
you gonna keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like you at some point you have to make a decision to either stop the nonsense or keep going and hurting yourself even
Yeah.
further. So I feel like commitment is action.
Period.
Period. And we
Hmm.
move on.
You know,
That is fine. That
I don't
this
like it.
I feel like honestly, this I know everybody want this podcast to be whatever they want it to be, but this is my healing space. So it's we get it off our chest and we go home and we like, wow. You
You
know what I'm
know,
saying?
I
Every
like
time.
just like that. Like just gotta get that. I don't like it, and that's honestly, and I don't wouldn't even need to keep expounding on it. But I just feel like now,
Yeah.
I never really had the voice. Because even so, even thank you. Because honestly, I don't feel as if I have had the I ain't gonna say platform, but the means to use the voice that was given. I know
Yeah.
now through trials, tribulations, things of that nature. This is the gift that was given to me. So I don't really have all the spaces to be actually saying these things and
Yeah.
having it to be don't care if it's well received, but sometimes I'm met with the most like hastiest, because I'm not even gonna say nastiest,
Yeah.
hastiest of attitudes, or met with stagnation, or and it's just like,
It's a
bro,
lot of push.
I just want y'all to listen. Like, can you just be quiet and listen so you can actually feel me and actually hear me? Because I have had to step back and be that person who had to shut up and listen.
Yeah.
So I know what it takes. I know it don't feel good. I
Yeah.
know that. But I'm not telling you nothing I wouldn't do. I'm not telling you nothing I have not did. So that's why I don't like it. Because me personally, I'm not finna come home to nobody who is being mean to me at the end. Because that's what it sounds like. Being mean to me. You're not finna be mean to me.
When I tell you, I understand that more than anybody.
Like,
Like it's cool to have a bad day. I can do that. But when you're constantly being mean to me for no reason,
and like,
and all I'm doing is trying to love on you, no, I'm not doing it.
or condescending, and I've been that person. I've been that person, and I would still try to retract back. Mm. Someone in mind who I'm thinking about, who
Yeah.
I've been that person with, literally said some of the best things ever. They said, "You cannot control nobody's action." If I, well, this is their example. They said if I was going back and forth with somebody and I said something that I knew was their trigger, and they come punch me, I'm in the wrong for
Yes.
triggering them.
Yes.
Now they followed that up with, but because you cannot control no one's actions, I'm not wrong for punching you back. The contortion in my brain didn't make sense, but it did, because at the same time, the other person in the situation, you don't have enough control of yourself that couldn't trigger you so much that you had to physically bound. Like, it's a whole lot of other physical things you could have did. You could have walked away. You
Okay.
could have screamed. You could have yelled. You could have did all these other things besides, I feel like this, so you need to feel this. I'm big on like,
What do they say? Uh, the every reaction has
yeah, there's a reaction. So
an equal one.
you
So
know,
what?
I'm
Why would
not
you
mad.
try to purposefully hurt me?
That's what I said. But
Cause that hurts. What you're doing, if you know that's my trigger and you go that low, yeah, you finna feel something.
that's
Cause
what I
at that
said.
point, yeah, we can be done after this. Because now I know we even.
You know,
But like, don't like that is low.
tick for
Cause
tack
that's
stuff just don't. It don't resonate with me either. Tick for tack
oh
is
my
not.
god. Cause like
That's me.
I feel like, and honestly, it honestly depends on what level of hill are you on, because you can walk away,
Yeah.
but that walk away is gonna be filled with disappointment, sadness, and everything else. And it's
Yeah.
like when you walk away, you can't go back.
Yeah.
So like maybe that punch is you got one more time, and you're trying to hold on, but it's like at some point people get a little bit too comfortable and a little bit too disrespectful, and they don't understand like how valuable you are to
Mm.
them.
I like that.
And
Bring it around. Bring it
yeah, you got to
around.
bring it around. We got, because that's what all these next few episodes gonna be about, guys. Because
My neighbor.
you know it's it's hot right now, and
Yeah.
it's very much in our faces, and it's got to be, it's poking us as a culture, and it's
Yeah.
crazy because like I don't ever see like Caucasians or Asians or
I wanted to.
I
I,
don't see
you
them
said
having these
you
conversations.
said don't bite your tongue. This how I personally feel. I I feel, and I have conjured up thoughts enough to think that
I just had to
for
chill.
us, and I'm sorry, because I know we supposed to be, but
No, we're good.
for
We're
us
good.
as a
We're good.
community, definitely so. Like, why are we the only ones who are causing all this dysfunction? If y'all have not sat down and seen, hey, this women and this man conversation has now turned into, okay, the man is now the man is emasculated. Now he really is. Now the woman is masculine, because I seen a statistic yesterday. They're taking up more hands-on jobs, forklift, truckers, things of that nature. Because not only one, because I've actually heard somebody say this,
Yeah.
that's where the money at. Cool. Yes, it's where the money's at, but they're now taking on these masculine personalities, these masculine personas. You got your, mm, I
Let's
like the
get into
music.
it.
It's turned up, but you got your sexy reds. You got your Megan Thee Stallions, and I used to love all of these people because I used to be I love the free will. I love the,
Freedom of expression.
yeah,
Okay.
but it comes to a point where you expressing yourself is also you in I don't want to say imposing yourself upon other people, but imposing these thoughts and ideas to
The
open,
masses.
yeah, open space, open masses, and you cannot. I don't care what nobody say. You cannot sit and tell me that the woman who listened to Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion is not literally thinking differently than the woman who's listening to soft binary beats or Tink.
Mhm.
Cause I'm not even gonna say Janae, but even her, cause she's working through her trauma, work through her healing. They not different people. Y'all can't sit and tell me that people who will sit and look at baddies
Mhm.
or look at shows where we're beating each other down
Yeah.
are not different and their attitude isn't different
Their approach is
versus somebody
different.
who might sit and be like, oh, I like the old school stuff. I like the Cosby Show or regardless of what Bill did. Um,
I'm sorry.
or those shows like Family Matters where they actually were showing us some
Instilling.
value,
Yeah.
instilling something that made some damn sense. Or even to say, as far as this conversation, somebody who will watch this from a lens of, oh, this is what they're gonna be talking about versus what we had to watch in order to get here. Cam
Right.
and
Dr. Bryant.
Dr. Bryant. For that was eye opening. But also to sit down and really say, okay, hey, like we already said, we looking at ourselves. I can tell y'all what I've done. I
Mhm.
can tell y'all the work that I did. A lot of people can only tell you to do the work. They
Or
can't.
they can only tell you their successes because they. I don't like that. I don't like when people always up that part of themselves because that's not. It was who told me. Uh, y'all go back, or maybe forward.
Hmm.
Depending on the order of these episodes,
You
y'all go
know.
look at Eric's episode, and he talked about how. Where was I going with this? My brain just dropped off. Pause. What did he say? Resume.
There we go.
He was talking about how there is no story in successes, right?
Hmm.
People watch movies for the plot. They see it for the conflict. They see how can this hero overcome these turmoils and these obstacles and
Hmm.
hurdles and everything. If all you doing is spitting to me, oh yeah, I'm just an A1 citizen and I never been through any, turn off.
Yeah, I don't
Cause
want to hear
I
that.
don't relate to you automatically. I'm
Like,
going through a lot of stuff right now and I need relatable content. When she started talking about her childhood and her her issues and stuff, yeah, she had a father that was there, but she was also not living with her dad,
yeah.
you know? And at one point in time, I was having a relationship with my dad. Yeah, well, I ain't seen him since elementary school.
Mm.
I am a fully grown woman. Okay, and checkmate. So listening to her story, and even though he was very rude about it, like, cause that it pissed me off. Cause he's like, "Where you from?" And she gave an extensive. This is who I am. This is where I come from. These are the people who I come
Yeah.
from. He's like, that was not a
Like,
simple diva, baby, relax. Cause it pissed me off. And I was just like, every time he sighed at her, giving her expertise, her insight, it pissed me off. Every time, you done? Let me know when I can talk. Is that all you want to do? You just want to be, you don't, the thing about being heard is the ability to listen. You have two ears and one mouth for a reason, to listen more than you talk. Shout out to my dad, my dad that raised me. Okay, cool.
okay.
Let's just stamp that. But you don't have a conversation just to respond. You have to get into it. And I want you, yeah, find it. Find it. I'm looking.
I got it.
Pick it up.
Okay, so I just want to double back on that, and not even double back, but piggyback,
Yes.
because I did want to talk about communication. I personally feel like, and like I said before, relationships, that's where a lot of stuff goes awry, with you not knowing. So, like you said, some people are listening to listen versus listening to respond.
Yes.
So I think that's step one. Don't just listen to somebody, and I've been noticing this too. Like my auntie, she recently picked me up from the MARTA station, so we talking. She's like, "Yeah, I had asked this." She literally said that I wish people would just shut up sometimes. I'm like, "What you mean?" Because I feel the same way. But she's like, yeah, I was on the phone with this other lady. She actually watches like hospice. She does
Okay.
geriatric work. So she's like, yeah, I got this client. He was, in his 80s. He's in an apartment complex. So she was like, my aunt asked the lady, does the apartment complex have stairs?
Okay.
She says, my client, he like walking upstairs, woo woo woo. And like she said, that's not what I asked you. I asked you, does the apartment complex have stairs? And I said, yeah, because you could have been asking for a whole nother reason as to why the apartment complex has stairs. And I accidentally did this today because someone asked in class, how your grandmama? I was like, she good. I just didn't get to give her a massage or whatever. That's not what they was asking you. They said, how was she doing? And from last time when they asked me that, they were only asking from a standpoint of, I care about you, so I know you care about that. Let me ask you about that.
Right.
Not about her, what's going
Yeah.
on. Just how was she doing? Is she well? Because if she's well, then I know you're well. So we need to stop listening to respond
Mm-hmm.
so we can actually listen to hear people. And then when we responding, we don't need to respond to regulate. We need to respond to create balance.
Come on.
So when you're responding to regulate, same way the nervous system, same way we kind of hit on that. When you're responding to regulate, you have mannerisms, you have um hmm, attitudes that would mimic what we seen on that podcast. Because I don't want to say that his whole demeanor was just piss poor boo boo, but
It was
because
very
I'm a man,
antsy.
yeah, I'm a man's man, so I'm gonna kind of back him up a little bit from a man's perspective of just kind of short. Like I
Yeah.
did, this is what I asked you, and I only wanted to know the city and the state,
Mm-hmm.
but you just did not articulate that to somebody who thinks very broad.
She's very intellectual. You're not talking to a regular person, and I think that's where the disconnect was coming from, because if you want a surface level interview, you talk to surface level people.
People.
You you're not if okay, cause you wanted McDonald's, or you wanted chili steak, but you showed up at STK.
you know
Them cows have been massaged their whole life and pampered. We don't know where this chili steak came from, but
it's the work that came
it's
out of box
different.
shop.
And I wish people will understand who they're talking to. You know, when people actually literally ask, who you talking to? Who you think you're talking to?
Yeah.
Think about it. Who?
Who are at any given moment, who are you talking to? Not even just somebody who because even right now, we had, we're in a different
Yeah.
location, we're doing different things. This could evoke different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm still talking to the same emotional state. I know I'm talking to the same person, but
Right.
I don't. Who's to say that from point A to point B that hell, I might get hungry. You might not be talking to the same person who is so attentive because I might be like, like you said, getting antsy. And it's like,
A
mm,
text could have ruined my it was
you know,
2 minute drive. Could have literally.
whole mood gone. And now you always have to kind of check in with that person. Check in with yourself first, know how
Yeah.
you feel. Then check in with that person. Like, it's not always a how you doing. It's not always a what you doing. Sometimes it's their body language. Sometimes it's the way they are responding to what you're saying. Sometimes it's if they are cutting you off while you're talking because that's not communicating. Um, and sometimes it is just knowing that maybe that person is antsy, and
Yeah.
maybe you do have to be the person to kind of, hey, I am listening to you. What is it? Or being that person who's like, hey, right now I'm talking, so therefore I'm gonna keep talking, and whatever you're saying, then I can't hear you until you hear me, and that's what I have to tell the kids at school. Like, I can't hear you because you can't hear me. You want to keep doing what you're doing. You want to act on things that I'm literally telling you not to do, and I have your best interest. I can't hear you until you can hear me.
Yeah. Come on.
So if you hurt yourself and you fall and you stumble, that's cool. But I bet when you get up, you're gonna go sit down like I told you,
All
cause
right.
that makes sense, and not to make it dull it down to children, because even as adults, sometimes we kind of need a little correction, and
Yeah.
sometimes same way in what we seen, you start to listen to respond, and you start to respond to regulate more so than to balance out what you see um as issues as problematic, and you try to regulate them and put them on a leash, therefore controlling them.
Mm-mm.
let the control go, and we gonna wrap. I'm gonna wrap it back around to why we even talking about this. We as a people gotta let the control go. We do not control the narratives that have came.
Come
I
on.
ain't even gonna say before us, cause we haven't. We can only control the narratives that's coming behind us, and if we gonna keep putting down boo boo bull steps and keep
Yeah.
tripping and tripping and tripping. I mean, yes, we have people who are doing the work, who doing the good things, such as Dr. Bryant. But if we gonna keep tripping, as my brother did, Mr. Cam, then what are we really doing? Because
Yeah.
we creating these platforms, we creating these voices, all to look ignorant as hell in front of the masses, and it gotta stop.
Yeah.
Like today,
Because there was a lot of even, and I don't like to. I don't. I am an advocate for men, as people know.
definitely so.
It's like I don't just men ain't this and they ain't
Yeah,
that. No, everybody's gonna be who they're gonna be.
you know,
And that's how I approach life. I don't let people's opinions of you know how many men are in the world, like it's so many different personalities and different stories and experiences that I'm not about to sit up here and be like, oh, I'm just not gonna mm, let me talk to you first, let me see where
you
you
know,
headed.
you have to check in with them.
Yeah. Everything comes full circle at literally every time, and it only does that because it's like everything is always interconnected. So
Literally,
if people would just stop for a second and smell the roses, maybe
whether
they'll get
they,
their flowers. I don't know.
you know, even if they stink, you know, they did say roses smell like boo boo, but if they smell like boo boo, then you know that's just what they smell
I mean,
like.
that's just what it is. I mean, that's just what it is.
You can't change that. Release control.
How can partners support each other in achieving and maintaining this balance?
So I'm gonna speak from personal experience. I have not been in too many relationships, so please spare me. But finding balance in a relationship for me,
Or how would you want to do
how would I
that?
want to? I like that better
Okay,
because I
let's go
can't
that
really.
route.
How would I want to keep balance? Me personally, mm, I've asked a lot, so I'm not gonna say that this is not. Take it fact, fiction, take it for what you want. But I
Yeah.
feel this to be true. When it comes to balance, I definitely feel like there are certain roles that need to be fulfilled. I
Okay.
know we have stepped away from gender roles, so I'm not necessarily pointing to them, but because I don't want to even exclude how Dr. Bryant included all in true man and man,
Yeah.
woman and man. It's always,
Partner on partner. Somebody needs to have something. Somebody needs to have something.
and it's just always a more dominant or a more submissive role that's played. I don't care how you want to put it. Sometimes that role gets, back and forth. But to know what role you feel comfortable in, me
Mm.
personally, I've dealt with people who sometimes I'm cool with sitting back with.
Okay.
Very cool with sitting back with. Very cool with them taking the lead. Very cool with them kind of guiding and coaching me to be a better person for them. Now some people I
Mm.
fought against that because you not making me better. I'm making you better, and I can see that. But you are
Mm.
trying to make me who you want me to be. For you, that's not what I'm gonna be, and I'm never gonna be that. So I'm gonna go ahead, kill that, knock that in the bud. Because like you said, I would hate to string you along because
Cause you're not listening.
yeah, you trying to make water in the wine. You're not Jesus. But when it comes to that balance, it's just simply that. Like, I mean, communication.
Learn
I'm
your
gonna go
partner.
back to that. Learn your partner. Know what they want. Know what they like. I had to really shut up for real. I had to have a friend tell me that. Shut up and just sit back and listen to what she's telling you. Don't go back at it with, well, this. I sit back and I listen. I said, wow, it took me this long to actually understand what you were saying. And it only took me to shut up. It only took me to get out my own ego. It only took me so much that I felt like was so tugging and pulling on me for me to just sit back and say, you know what? Cool. Okay, now I get you. I actually get you now. I was saying I feel you earlier,
Yeah.
but I didn't get you.
What was that rooted in? Like I know you said your ego,
Mm.
but like
Not even just my ego, but also past hurt and also feeling like I'm not heard.
okay.
Because if you explain things to me in a certain way after I have told you something and it sound like You ain't get me. I ain't gonna lie. I don't. It's nothing.
You're not
It's a
articulating.
itch that's like, why you talking? You need to shut up. So I'm going to interrupt. I'm not going to communicate effectively. I'm not, and that's something in me that I do need to work on. But
Okay.
as far it's something that's there,
But you know.
and I know it.
See, that's the difference. That's the difference. And I hate to keep going back to you, Cam, but I don't know if you aware or not. But it's like you said you was triggered, but you never once said, "Yeah, that does bother me. Maybe I do need to work on that." You ain't even said that in the interview. I watched it
And
2 times.
that's also another part of balance. It's also taking accountability, like, and not trying to point the finger, because at the end of the day, you point the finger. Guess what? It's FOMO point back at
Four.
you.
I thought it was three.
It's four. You might well put that thumb up too. Like, might put a thumb on you too, because at the end of the day, who are we to judge? And this goes to my
Yeah.
what I believe in. But who are we to judge the next individual?
What you
And
say?
especially if we say we love them in whatever facet.